Then we saw the rising unemployment. And I don't care what they say, 107 million employed is a lot bigger than 99 million employed, and that's the difference between now and 1980. Now, I didn't get a chance to reply tonight to all of those frequent references to an arms race. Well, you know, there was a cartoon back when we first started the rebuilding of the military that said it all for me. It was a picture of a couple of Russian generals talking to each other, and one of them said, "I liked it better when we were the only ones in the arms race." We're going to get them back to the table to talk disarmament. I don't mean arms limitations. You know, some of the previous treaties that we've had, I know, are in good faith and all that, but all they did was set the rules for the continued arms race. When I got there, found out that SALT II, from the time that it was signed until I arrived in Washington, an expert in the field gave me the information that under the signing of SALT II, without breaking the treaty, the Soviet Union had added to their nuclear arsenal the equivalent of the bomb we dropped on Hiroshima. They had added that every 11 minutes in the years since the treaty had been signed. Well, that isn't what we want. And I had the pleasure of telling Mr. Gromyko the other day that anytime they're ready, we're the only two that can destroy the world. Our two nations are the only two that can save it. And I told him that I'd like to start down the road with them, not to just arms limitation, but to the total elimination of all nuclear weapons in the world. But I have a feeling, looking at all of you, that you agree with me about something else that's happened in these last few years. And that is that there's a whole different appreciation for the family in America, the bedrock values of our neighborhoods, the fact that our crime rates are coming down, the fact that now our schools in this last year have suddenly turned a corner, and for the first time in 20 years we see the college entrance exams, the scores going up instead of the steady decline that we knew. And it didn't come from any multi-billion-dollar federal program. Yeah, we appointed a commission, the best people we could find, and said, come back and tell us, what should we do about education in this country? They did. And we passed it on to you, to the people in the communities, to the people in the school districts, to the teachers and the parents and the students. And all over the United States, it's happening. There are now the compulsory courses in math and science that had been abandoned in so many places. There are the added requirements for graduation. And the whole picture is looking up to the place that the other day there was a poll taken about how people felt about their schools, and for the first time in about a decade, the American people said they were very happy about their schools. The things that were going on before we got here, they talk about fairness. Well, I have to say, at least that I can say for the things they were doing. They were fair. They didn't discriminate. They made everybody miserable. Now, since we're not going to raise the taxes, I didn't get a chance to give the figures tonight, but we have cost out what his proposed tax increase would do. It would raise the tax for every household in the United States by more than $1,800 a year, about $157 a month. And I just don't think we ought to let him do that to America. So we'll keep him reminded of that. We'll keep the people reminded of it. And, you know, I can't help but think about this America here and what it's doing. We all watched the Olympics and we saw our athletes go for the gold. Well, there are two teams in America today. There's the Washington tax increase team and the grassroots opportunity team. Now, making the economy bear the burden of our opponent's tax hike would be like having some of those Olympic swimmers, their coach tell them that they had to swim while carrying an anvil, or a runner would sprint with a ball and chain. And that's what Coach Tax Hike and his tax increase team want to do. And they kicked off their campaign with that call this year.